Welcome back to the second part of basic trading. First one was very generic and was not exhaustive. You're gonna find something more on our website under learning. It's gonna describe how the market is, the price moves, and the different pairs and instruments. Here we go into a second part, which is more interesting because it's trading how we see it and we do it at Itagora. We start from our strategy. Our strategy is simple. We trade higher time frames, so weekly, daily, even monthly, but not short or let's say lower time frames. Certainly not 1 hour. Very occasionally 4 hour charts. This is because it's more reliable, first of all, so more profitable long term. Second of all, because you tend to work 1-2 hours per day at the end of the day, actually, because we are in Europe and New York closes, Wall Street closes when here it's 22-23 p.m. So it's very convenient and very relaxed. You don't overtrade. You don't, let's put it this way, you don't work during the day. You let your money work for you, which is very, I would say, very relaxing way of trading. We work with limited setups. We have only 5 official setups and 5 official patterns. We definitely try to combine fundamentals and technical analysis. It's much more powerful. We believe that one or the other alone is still a bit limited. Right. Here we have our tools. There are more described in the member presentation, the presentation for members. Basically, we have a matrix which takes into account a few factors we're going to see later. Calendar screening is just a very simple tool to screen and prepare the calendar for upcoming week. And then the different setups and patterns, we're going to look into them or some of them. Visual analysis, it's pretty much of a proprietary tool. It's complete 360 degrees analysis, fundamentals, technical information. We're going to look at that a bit later. And of course our Agora workspace or platform, which is also for advanced and members, advanced trader and members, the people who want to go to the next level or a bit further. So I would say the matrix takes into account the relative strength of the pairs, the volatility, different volatility of the pairs. Pound yen, for instance, is much more volatile than dollar yen, and absolute correlation, which is correlation between pairs, and delayed correlation, which we have identified to be something that happens sometimes, like for instance all the yen pairs or crosses might react differently in the time frame. So one can spot basically an opportunity and then repeat it a bit later with another pair, or one who missed the opportunity can let's say catch it on another pair. Calendar screening, as we said, and setups we said already. Here the way they look like, very simple. Let's say matrix. Here the first setup, the one we definitely prefer and we favor, it's a continuation setup. Psychologically, what it means basically is that the price has exploded and at a certain time it stalls. There is profit taking and there is hedging and there is simple stalling also, and the market just retraces a bit, but still contained in the mother bar, which is this one, and the inside bar, which is completely contained. to the previous mother bar, and then it explodes. The same here. This is very evident actually. The inside bar is very small, which is also good to trade. So basically either you place your entry here at the break of the inside bar, or even better, even more, let's say, conservative, at the break of the mother bar. Below you have your stop and you take profit depending on the next level. Usually they're very big moves, so it can go up to 2-3 times our risk. Very reliable as well, the PINBAR in trend. Basically there is a strong trend as we see, and the price pulls back at a certain level. At this level big players come on board. Let's say here they come on board, or here they come on board, and they push the market upwards because they place big volumes. Trading banks we're talking, or hedge funds or fund managers, and they show interest in buying in this case, and the price jumps literally up. So it's quite reliable, easy to spot, not much risk about it. It's the best way to trade the trend, so we definitely like it as well. So here the comparison, I guess, with shooting and arching that we have seen before. I think it's quite applicable. The pin is the arching and the shooting occurs with the move, the price move. These 3 setups are for people who want to go further, so they're more advanced. The counter trend and the specific gap setup is a proprietary setup. That's the part we just touch base what the importance of analysis is for us. Basically the output is all contained in the visual global analysis, which is this proprietary tool, and this contains basically all the fundamentals, technical information or leads from analysts, setups, technical instruments analysis, and 2 proprietary tools. One is the predicted next candle. Basically we have identified a few types of candles that can be visually put on the graph to understand whether this is gonna be the next day candle, basically, or a possible one. And then the psychological market analysis, we have briefly spoke about that with the setups. It's very important to understand why the market is moving, why it's doing those setups. There is always a reason, could be rational, but there is always a good reason why the market is behaving in a certain way. Well, there are exceptions, but okay, this is the part where we talk about the beauty of a setup. A setup which is perfect, is in trend, clear at key levels, and there is momentum along it, along with it. Trend as well is favorable, and there are other good conditions in correlation and strength. This makes a good, let's say, start for a possible trade, but the trade has to be, let's say, expected. It has to be in your watch list. It has to be backed up by key events, and it has to be safe and within strategy. Right, importance of routine. It's also for advanced traders. We can just describe basically the decision protocol is how we come to the conclusion that the trade is worthy. The execution protocol is basically to make sure that we go through all the steps to determine and to place the order correctly, to determine the right parameters, enter point, stop and loss, take profit, and managing the position, which is the most difficult part of trading actually.